yeah, I felt like I had to do something.
This is an exhibition congested with different voices, different generations, different issues, but all singing together.
Quite a lot of what I do is very situational, so it responds to places. I often think that my studio is just wherever I am, really.
I have done lots of work relating to Syria. It's still difficult for me to understand that the places of my childhood, they don't exist. These places that is once were part of my landscape, they are not there anymore. They are erased.
It was quite an affecting experience going to Cali. In the camp it was 99% men, but I did meet one woman and we went into her makeshift accommodation. This woman had taken some care to make this little space feel a bit like home, and it kind of triggered something in my head that made me think about, oh, how do people make somewhere, wherever it is, feel a little bit more familiar or a bit like where they've left behind?
The memories of kind of my childhood have had a huge influence on my work. My parents are religious, they pray 5 times a day, so I used to go to the mosque. You've got sound, light. These two things create something else that makes you feel really excited.
I'm not an outwardly political person, and it's only the second time I've ever cried over something that's happened politically. It was like the perfect storm. Here's this amazing object that does this amazing thing, and then here's this absolutely terrifying election result with Trump being elected president. So I locked myself in the studio and I played the JFK's inauguration speech. But then over the course of this 6.5 hours that I was playing it over and over again every 4 minutes, it's the actual record starts to deteriorate.
It is this kind of mixed feeling. Am I an outsider? How easy to actually read things from distance? How complicated? Am I seeing the place actually through the media, or when I speak to some of my friends, it's sometimes you could hear the noise of guns and the bombs in the background, and this is their daily landscape. I thought, I know, I have a Syrian passport. I'm going to use my Syrian passport. So there is an action 1, the pages will be scattered and then gathering them together as the second part of action. I cannot stop doing work because this is what I do. This is my oxygen.
I wanted this to be much more led by the women, so I asked them just to do some things that they would normally do in that space. So it was trying to get some images to work from that were relaxed and not posed. And then I start editing those and working on drawings and oil sketches. So this is the oil sketch for the painting behind me. So I'll be sticking the oil sketches up on the wall together in different formations to work out how each painting can say something different or reflect the different experience of the women.
The title action, there's a physicality to the work, there's a kind of involvement of the artist within the work. But what I also like is the fact that the viewer becomes part of the work, they activate the work.
And what's sort of nice about Kettle's Yard as a kind of idea and also as a place is that because it's sort of this pseudo-domestic space, that in a way it's dealing with that idea of art and life. So it was a space that was lived in. And I guess what I'm trying to do with this performance is trying to draw an equivalence between domestic space and these spaces that we all inhabit within our own homes and the collections that we acquire.
Well, that's not really up for me to decide, I don't think. I think it's my job and the job of anyone making anything for consumption. It's just to let it live in the world.
Even a rejection of the work, like if somebody doesn't like something, I think that's often interesting. Like some of my most powerful cultural experiences have been things that I absolutely hate, because again, they allow you to kind of orientate yourself and say, well, why am I rejecting this? What is within this thing that I absolutely reject.
The piece originated from the idea of me reading the Quran in the mosque, and it's now being shown in the chapel. And I love this idea of where there's two culture, religion kind of coming together.
I suppose I'd like them to think about these women as individuals and maybe think about the sort of individual stories behind a much larger conversation. These people are part of our society as well, and the refugee crisis isn't something that's happening far away in another country. It's happening here, and I suppose just we'd want people to maybe reconsider what they think about that.
I'm really interested to throw the stone and to see what kind of ripples it will generate. Art's supposed to be for everyone.